How good is Hala and Crabominable actually? How's it going, guys? In today's video, we will have an in-depth analysis of Hala and Crabominable. Make sure to subscribe for future Pokemon Masters content, and let's get started. Overall, Hala is an okay striker. I mean, like, the main concern for him would be his extremely low speed stat. His speed stat is just so bad. And then his move kit as well is kinda weird, honestly. We'll go over that very soon. So Hala is an ice type striker, a physical ice type striker that is weak to flying. It has very high HP, a pretty good attack, very good defense and special defense for a striker, irrelevant special attack, and extremely bad speed stat. So Hala is really tanky for a striker, right? Over 700 HP is really high. And when I saw this HP, like 719 HP, I thought he's gonna have like a recoil move, but apparently not. And sadly, his speed stat is just so bad, and adding the fact that he has a 4 gauge move, and that 4 gauge move will lower his speed. So it's kinda weird. It's really weird. I don't know how to use him actually. It's kinda weird, just very weird overall, because if you buff his speed, he's gonna lower down that speed anyways. For his team skill, he has Ice Strike, Alolan Strike, Trial Giver Strike, Passionate Spirit Strike, and Melee Family Strike. His first passive is Slow Wind Up 1, powers up moves when the user's speed is lowered, which, I mean, you only need to use his Ice Hammer once, right, to get -1 speed. Use it once, and then you get 10% extra damage. But is it really worth it though? It's already really slow, and then you decrease his speed even more just to get 10% extra damage. Honestly, I don't think it's not that great actually. Only 10%, it's really low, 10%. So I don't think it's really that good. Second passive is Headstrong, attack cannot be lowered. Third passive is First Aid 6. He heals 60% HP when HP is low. This is really good, right? Hala is already really tanky, and then on top of that he has First Aid 6, so it's gonna increase his survivability by a lot. So his first move is Ice Hammer. It's a 4 gauge physical ice type move with 232 BP and 90% accuracy. And then when you use it, do a -1 speed on the user. I mean, 232 is really high BP. It does a lot of damage, but you get -1 speed on the user. It's not really, it's just not that great, man. I don't know what they're doing with his kit. Like, -1 speed, like, why though? Why? I don't get it. I mean, like, Ice Hammer in the main games, it's the same, right? -1 speed, but his speeds are really bad. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, if you use it once, you get 10% extra damage because of his Slow Wind Up 1 passive, but yeah, it's not that great. And it's 90% accurate, which, well, it doesn't really matter because his trainer move will fix this issue by increasing accuracy, right? Second is Direct Hit Plus. We all know what's that. You use it twice, you max a crit. Really good. The next move is Brick Break. It's a 2 gauge fighting physical move with 42 BP and 100% accuracy. It's great. This move can break through Reflect and Light Screen, so it's very useful in Champion Stadium, right? With Master Mode, if you have Infinite Reflect and Light Screen, so you can use Brick Break, break it, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that is really nice. His fourth move is his trainer move, Make 'em Hola. This move is pretty good actually. You +6 attack, you max out your attack at +6 and then +1 accuracy, and on top of that you get to endure. This is a really solid trainer move. So like you can just max out his attack and crit right before sync. He also has +1 accuracy, meaning Ice Hammer will be 100% accurate, so it doesn't really matter anymore. You can always hit with Ice Hammer unless the opponent uses evasion buff or something, but yeah, whatever. So for his sync grid, 1 out of 5. There's not a lot of stuff. You only get Make 'em Hola MPR2, which, I mean, if you take this, you can endure another hit, right? But you already maxed out your attack anyways. You will want to stay away from this. Then here we get Direct Hit Plus MPR2. Same thing. You're gonna max out your crit anyways. You don't really need this. The next thing is Snow Shelter. I mean, if you're running a Hell team, then sure, you should take this. So for his build, you just take everything, honestly. For 2 out of 5, you get some pretty good stuff. The first thing you get is Ice Hammer accuracy, which, I mean, you can take this, but you're gonna buff your accuracy anyways, so you don't need that. Ice Hammer MGR3, you must take this. You 100% must take this. If you don't take this, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry to say that. Just take this, trust me. Next thing is Healing Hell 1. If you're running a Hell team, just take this. Get 10% healing every time you use a move. Brick Break MGR 4. I mean, you're most likely gonna use Ice Hammer anyways, right, to deal damage. Brick Break has a very low BP, but it is cheaper, right? But still, you probably don't want this. Like, it can be useful because, for example, like if you are low on move gauge, you cannot use Ice Hammer because it's 4 gauge, you don't have enough move. But you have 2 move gauge, then you can just use Brick Break, right, to reduce the sync move countdown. Ice Hammer will be better anyways, even though you minus speed and all that stuff. So the last thing on 2 out of 5 is Haymaker. I would say it's the best thing, the best node in his entire sync grid, because you double your sync move damage at +6 attack, which you can do right before the sync, right? You can just use his training move once and then you get max attack, and you can do double damage with his sync move. So this is really good. You should take this. Now for his build, it's kinda easy. Just take Ice Hammer and then a Haymaker, and you have 32 energy left, so you just take anything you want, honestly. Just take like power-ups, right? All that stuff. Take the speed here, take the speed there, then just take all the stats and stuff. If you're running a rain team, then you wanna take the rain stuff instead, right? Snow Shelter and Healing Hell, like that. So like that, you get Ice Staff, Haymaker, MGR3. For 3 out of 5, you get some new stuff. It's not that great. You get Super Duper Effective 2. You should take this. It's 20% extra damage if the stage is weak to ice, right? Then we get Make 'em Hola Super Preparation 9. This, it's expensive, but you can do 50% more damage if, let's say, the opponent is weak to ice, but you only use it once per battle for 10 energy. Is it worth it though? Probably not. I would stay away from this. Next thing is Unyielding 2. There's 30% chance to endure another hit after enduring a hit. Don't take this, man. It's how many energy? It is 10 energy? 10 energy. It's expensive and it's only 30% chance, so usually Unyielding 2 is just a bad passive overall. Just don't take this. It's too much RNG. So the next thing is Brick Break 12/2. This is debatable actually. 30% chance to apply free move next effect after the Pokemon uses a move. It's debatable. Use Brick Break and then there's a chance that you get a free Ice Hammer next turn. Maybe you want this though. It's 8 energy. Maybe you can take Haymaker and this. It really depends, honestly. Next up is Hasty Hell 2. You get faster move gauge in Hailstorm. If doing a Hell team, you must take this. All of us already know Hala has speed issues, so this is really nice. Invigorating Hell 2. You get 20% extra damage in Hell. Really good as well. If you're running a Hell team, you should take this. Now for his build, you can do a Haymaker and Ice Hammer build, right? Something like this. Or like, yeah, something like this. And then you can, it's debatable, you can take a Brick Break 12/2. You still have 40 energy left. Then maybe you want to take the Sync, right? Because you can do a lot of damage with Haymaker, right? So you can do something like this. Take HP and then maybe attack. So something like this for his Ice Hammer and Sync Nuke build. His next build will be the Ice build. For Ice build, you want to take Snow Shelter, Invigorating Hell 2 and Hasty Hell 2. Honestly, this might be the best build for him because it's really slow. Hasty Hell 2 would be really good for him. If you're running a Hellstorm team, then you really don't need Haymaker anymore because you need Steven to set up Snow, right? So you don't need that anymore. And then you have the energy left, just take like Ice Hammer stuff. Or maybe you want Healing Hell, but honestly, Healing Hell 1 Hala is already pretty tanky, don't really need any more healing, right? And then he already has first aid 6 in his passive, so that's even more healing. So just take some damage. Just end the battle quick. Just finish the battle quick, and then you don't have to worry about speed anymore. So here is the damage calculation between Hala and Steven. Ice Hammer versus Icicle Crash. So as you can see, Hala does less damage per gauge compared to Steven, but it's not by that much. And on top of that, Hala is easier to set up, right? His Stingrid, we get Super Duper Effective 2, Invigorating 2, and then Slow Wind Up 1. It's really easy to set up with all this. For Steven, you need to flinch, you need to freeze. So that's a hassle, because getting flinch and freeze is gonna be pretty annoying, right? It's all based on luck anyways, and then having both of them at the same time is pretty difficult as well. So let's say if I remove Harry 2, pretty much the same damage, and then if you remove Freeze Synergy 3, it's also pretty much the same. So overall, in terms of damage per gauge, it's quite similar, but remember Hala has really bad speed, so he's gonna struggle. And one last thing is that Steven is gonna take a while to set up, like I said. Flinch and freeze. So for Steven, right, you need to take Icicle Spear, Cold Snap 2, 30% chance to freeze. Because if you don't take this, who's gonna freeze? There's nothing that can freeze in his moveset, so you do need that. For Hala, he can easily just max out his crit and attack, so it's not really a problem for him. So for Stink Nuke, Steven does more damage by quite a decent amount actually, but it's the same thing, you need to flinch and freeze. So it's gonna set up as well, and then you need good timing as well, right? Because you only sync like once every few turns, you don't get to sync often, and then if you want to do the maximum damage, then you need to freeze and flinch at the same time, which is gonna be quite difficult. So let's say if I remove Flinch Hitter 5, it becomes less damage. If you remove both, it's gonna be really low damage, 13,000, it's really low. And for Hala, you just need to max out your attack to get double sync damage. For Steven also has double down 3, which increases sync damage to 30% if it's super effective, which you should use him in an Ice Weak stage, so yeah. So should you summon Hala and Crabominable? Honestly, no. I pretty much say the same thing for every Spotlight Scout, because you know, it's a Spotlight Scout, he's gonna be in a regular pool after his banner ends. Just save your gems, right? You know, Summer is coming up soon, Summer Steven is definitely gonna have a rerun, so maybe just save your gems for him instead. Because I would say Steven is a bit better, right? Mainly because higher speed, and he can set up Hell. It's just easier to use. But you do need a bit of setup, but you don't really have to worry about speed that much. For Hala is just so slow. Minus your speed every time you use Ice Hammer. It's really bad, honestly. So no, don't summon for him. If you like him, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. Good luck, just don't spend too much money. So guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.